Have you ever, found yourself asking those really big universal questions?
The timeless ones, yeah.
Like, why is there suffering? Why does the world seem so, well, broken sometimes?
Or what exactly went wrong right at the start.
Exactly. Well, today, you're joining us for a deep dive into some really intriguing sources.
Mm-hmm.
They offer a very specific theological take on suffering, why creation happened, and, well, human nature itself, according to these texts.
And our mission really is to pull out the key ideas.
Yeah, what do these texts say about why Adam was created, what happened, and what were the big consequences?
It's quite a story they lay out.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Diving into these writings, it seems like there are two main reasons given for Adam's creation.
That's right. Two primary purposes.
The first one, it says Adam was created as a kind of precursor, like a first step.
Yeah, a blueprint, you could say. For a divine figure they call the second person of God.
Right, who was meant to arrive later as a last Adam. Now, for anyone maybe not familiar with that exact phrasing, what does last Adam or second person of God actually mean in this context?
Well, the key thing in these texts is that the second person isn't just another creature. It's presented as divinity itself, destined to actually complete creation. And the last Adam idea implies, the ultimate human.
A successor to the first.
Exactly. A perfect successor meant to get rid of sin and the suffering and establish a rule based on what they call the commandment of love. That's seen as the ultimate goal.
Wow. Okay. So a really grand design there. But beyond just preparing for this future figure, there was a second reason too, right? Something about proving a point.
Precisely. That's a huge theme here. There's this figure, the deceiver, often called Satan.
Right.
And according to these texts, this deceiver was arguing that God's commandments, especially his core commandment of love, were basically impossible.
Impossible for created beings, you mean?
Yeah, impossible for creatures like us to actually keep. So Adam's role, or part of it, was to produce what the texts call images of God.
Images of God. Like witnesses.
Sort of. Think martyr witnesses. Their lives, even ending in death, would prove the commandments can be kept.
Ah, so demonstrating it's possible, even under duress.
Exactly. It validates the commandments as a fair standard for judgment.
Okay, it shows the deceiver's claim was false.
Right. These witnesses become the proof.
That really adds another layer to Adam's purpose. So, okay, we have these big reasons for his creation, but then things go wrong. This is the fall, right, where it gets really dramatic.
It's the absolute turning point in the narrative. The sources are quite specific. They say Adam loved another created being, Eve, more than God.
So the failure wasn't maybe outright malice, but misplaced love.
That's how these texts frame it, yeah. A fundamental misdirection. He couldn't overcome the temptation that came through her.
And the consequence.
He became, in their words, a slave to sin. The idea presented is that whoever defeats you, you become their servant.
So Adam came under the deceiver's rule then?
That's the implication, yes. Defeated by temptation, he falls under the sway of the tempter.
Okay, connecting that to the bigger picture. That defeat must have had massive ripple effects. What do the sources say happened right after?
It's described as a fundamental shift in reality. First, the land itself, or the flesh, is cursed.
Cursed how? Like literally?
Well, the texts say it started yielding thorns and thistles. This is linked directly to carnal desires emerging from the physical body.
So a physical change leading to internal struggles.
And this meant the whole system shifted. The world moved from being governed by God's commandments.
Being governed by what?
By power. It became a world where, as they put it rather starkly, the strong devour the weak.
A kind of survival of the fittest takes over.
That's a good way to put it. And under the deceiver's influence, where power is the law, suffering for the weak becomes, well, inevitable according to these sources.
Grim. And there's another major consequence, isn't there? Death.
Yes. Perhaps the most universal one. Sin, as described here, cuts one off from God's life.
And God's life means more than just breathing.
Oh, much more. It's the source of spiritual vitality, perfection, connection. Severance from that leads to spiritual death and then inevitably physical death.
So the body aging, returning to dust, that's presented as a direct result.
A direct cause and effect chain in these narratives, yes. The fall, sin, suffering, death, they're all linked.
That's a powerful connection they draw. It really makes you think about the world we see today.
It raises questions, definitely.
So, wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening in?
We've walked through some ancient perspectives here.
Yeah, insights from these specific sources on why creation might have happened, the choices made, and the consequences that, according to them, shaped everything.
It's a specific viewpoint, but a detailed one.
So maybe consider, how do these old stories about suffering's origins, about love versus power, about obedience, how might they resonate or maybe clash with how you understand human challenges today?
What further questions does this deep dive spark in you about purpose, freedom, even about the kind of world we hope for?
Lots to think about there.